So we're here at Anime Expo at the Ninja Division booth with Marie-Claude Bourbannais and
Vegas PG.
and so I want to ask you a couple questions about cosplay.
Sure.
All right. So how long have you both been cosplaying? Just an easy one first.
I started in 2009 when I actually discovered cosplay. I had never heard of that before.
And I started in 2008.
Okay, great. Now, what was your first costume?
My real first costume was first from Mortal Kombat. I was a big Mortal Kombat fan, and the release of those pics on the internet made me discover what cosplay is.
And mine was Power Girl.
Oh, okay, that's perfect. That's awesome. Okay, so what made you decide that once you discovered cosplay that this would be an interesting career for you to actually, go to conventions and dress up and just, be awesome?
I was a former fashion designer,
okay.
So I had already a lot of experience as a costume maker, and I had a figure of both American comic book characters or Japanese anime characters. So I had a figure of those characters. I can make costumes. Let's put this together and let's give it a try. And I started attending conventions and making costumes.
That's great.
This is how it all started.
Awesome.
I started as a fan, just dressing up because I liked to dress up and I liked the characters and wearing the costumes, and I sort of fell into being a quote professional cosplayer. So I'm just doing it because I love it.
So you have a background in fashion design. Right? You didn't have any at all before this?
I'm self-taught. I'm a self-taught sewer.
Okay. So what were some of the bigger challenges of learning to make your own costumes? What were some of the big challenges?
Working with different materials that I wasn't comfortable with, and just sort of getting over that hurdle of being afraid to work with things. I've started learning how to make my own patterns, which is really challenging, totally worth it, but really frustrating at times, which I know you can attest to. But it's really been an experience for me, and it's been a lot of fun and personal growth too. So yeah.
Now, so you were a fashion designer, so you kind of knew some of the stuff, but now making these costumes, you made the costumes for soda pop natures and stuff like that. What are the challenges now as opposed to when you were first starting?
If I compare what I do now with what I've learned at school, it's a totally different universe. But I'd say just like Vegas, that learning how to work with new materials is very challenging. I lately started to work with leather and I love it. It's completely different from working with any other type of fabric. Different techniques, different finishing, it's longer. There are steps that you have to do that just don't exist in fabric, so new material all the time. But this is what is interesting about it, the challenge that it brings to learn something new. So that's what I like the most about costumes.
So these costumes you're both wearing right now, how long did they take to make?
Oh my God, that's a good question. The leather, as I was saying, is extra steps, so many dozens of hours, and then the accessories, this is fiberglass and plastic, so a lot of molding, casting. It's hard to say a number of hours. I don't count actually. It's better if you don't count. You just do it because you're passionate, but don't take an account of the hours, guys. You may get discouraged.
And I totally agree with that. I don't count the hours either. I just sort of go with it. Sometimes you get a great win and you'll go for forever and you just sew and make and
you're just like into it.
Yeah.
This day, like everything goes so well.
Yeah. And there are some days that you're like, you know what? I'm not into this. I need to do something else. Yeah.
Exactly.
So aside from cosplaying and making costumes, what are your other hobbies, like as far as like gaming and stuff like that?
I wish I had the time to have a lot of hobbies, but in Quebec City I have my workshop, so I make costumes, props and sets all year long. Now this is what I make. I try to give a little time to read comics and watch animes. I watch a lot of animes.
Oh, okay.
I like to play video games. I love board games, which is how I got hooked up with Ninja Division. But again, not a whole lot of time because I also have a costume business that I run. So
we'd be lying.
Yeah.
Right? I was saying
if we had more time.
Ton of free time, and all these costumes are built by themselves while I'm sleeping.
Right, that would be nice.
Okay, so I know that you do some work in progress, take pictures and stuff. I'm not sure. Do you do that as well, like when you're making?
I'm starting to. I really haven't in the past, just because I get so focused on what I'm doing, I forget to take sort of in progress pictures.
You have to remember, oh, I just done that step.
Yes.
Take the time to stop and take any pictures. Sometimes we're so into it, it goes so well that you're like, oh,
You don't want to stop.
I've done all that and I forgot to take pictures. It's just
So true.
remember to do it.
Follow-up question for that, both of you. Have you? I mean, there are a lot of people here who are just getting into cosplay and learning how to make a cosplay. Have either of you thought about doing like tutorial videos, like on YouTube or anything like that?
I've had a lot of people ask me to, and it's probably something that I'll start doing in the future when I have a little more free time. Who knows when that'll be though.
Videos are really time consuming. I would like to do it, but with picture, actually upload my website and have like tons of work in progress, step-by-step pictures with detailed explanation in both French and English, and it would be easier for me because explaining in English, it's not my mother tongue. While if it's a text, I can take the time to write it correctly and make sure that all the words really mean what I want to explain. So pictures and text would be easier for me than videos, but this is definitely something that I have considered.
Well, that's all. Thank you so much. I really
welcome.
appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you.
All right.